It's amazing how far medicine has come even in the last 10 years. But even back in 2013, it was such a miracle that a 25-weeker could survive. And she's thriving and doing well. She's my miracle baby. And I'm so grateful for all that help, all the provisions that were given that she could make it, that she could survive at that stage. I know many years ago that would have been impossible. But even since in the last 10 years, medicine has come so far. I loved how this time around, there were cameras set up at each NICU bed, at each incubator, and at each crib, allowing parents to check in on the baby even when being at home. And so those things I feel helped a little bit. Now, I'll be honest, there's times you look at the camera, at the screen remotely, and it's hard not being there. You might see the baby crying. You may see that there's something going on, and that paternal instinct kicks in. And I would be afraid, does the nurse see? Do they know? And of course, there was freedom to call and check in, and we would get wonderful updates, detailed, friendly updates all the time. But there were definitely pros and cons to having access, being able to check in, but also that fear being reinforced that you feel helpless. It's been quite the ride. It's been both. It's been bittersweet. It's been both beautiful, just to see how far medicine has come, as mentioned, to see how babies can survive now, to see the wonderful care and the effort and the hard work these nurses and nurse practitioners and doctors put in to save these little lives. It amazes me how there's so many elements to the project, to the whole system. And it's beautiful because it just shows that everyone is so important, from the people cleaning, sanitizing, to the nurses, to those who fold baby clothes that have been donated, to those who make sure that the sink where you wash the bottles is clean, to those who heat up the milk, to those who create and manufacture the systems and the computers and the machines, to those who produce the baby bottles. I mean, it's easy to think that one job is more important than the other, but it's really this beautiful mosaic of so many people that are needed to keep these little babies alive and thriving. And I'm really, really grateful. And so those aspects have been really sweet, just to see that growth, being able to consistently visit, even hearing stories from nurses who have been practicing for so many years, who would speak of how things were 40 years ago, with parents that lived 5 hours away from where their baby was, perhaps because there was no closer NICU to where they lived, to hearing stories of babies that had to be in the NICU for a year and a half because, of lack of medical advancement like we have now. And I'm so grateful. It made me grateful just to see that things were going to be okay and that my baby was alive. I lost my eldest halfway through the pregnancy, so I've seen both the grief of losing a baby and the dreams that come with that, the fears of having a preemie, full term babies. And I'm so grateful that my babies are alive and well. And it's been beautiful. I think the bitter part, the hard part, is where you feel out of control. Like I said, you look at the camera and you're not there. You feel guilty. Maybe you can't go to the hospital because you have other kids or other things that are keeping you, a job and different responsibilities. And so there was guilt a lot of times, that mom guilt, feeling like less than. And I think that will be my encouragement to other moms who have preemies in the hospital, to not be consumed by guilt or by shame. It's not your fault. Your baby is going to be okay. An encouragement to those who would feel like they've failed. I think there's this, at least for me, there was this feeling like there's something wrong with my body. In my case, a dynamic cervix and difficulties to carry to term. And so there was this shame, I'm less than a woman because I can't do certain things, or I was struggling in certain ways. And those are lies. That's not the truth. Your baby is a beautiful miracle, and so are you. And I think my encouragement to moms and dads of preemies would be just to keep on going. We finally made it. Our little man is home and is keeping me busy now. And I'm really grateful. But I'm really, really, really grateful for this season. I would also encourage parents of preemies to take that time to prepare, but also to practice self care and to take that time to heal. There is benefits to having been able to heal from my full anesthesia C-section before little man came home. And I guess everything in life has pros and cons. It's this dance. It's beautiful and it's hard. But my experience has been really good. My experience has been one of amazing nurses who would just regularly give me updates, who had conversations with me. And everyone is different personality wise. Some just were there, they were polite, they just got the job done, professional and more to themselves. Others were very personable, wanted to talk to me. And it meant a lot to me because It was a lonely, exhausting season of my life, driving back and forth after long days, taking care of the family. And once my kids were in bed and dinner was made and things were in order, I would make the drive to the hospital, which wasn't right around the corner. And I was tired and exhausted. Sometimes I'd cry and scream in my car. I would feel that guilt. I'd feel that shame. I'd feel afraid for my baby. And I would go and I would be greeted with kindness and with compassion. And I just knew my baby was in good hands, and I'm really, really grateful for that. Doctors, experts, nurses, nurse practitioners, a whole team of amazing people that came together to take care of my little one and to love on him, the cute outfits they put him in. I'm really grateful for what medicine can do. I'm grateful for people who choose this route to take care of these little lives in the hospital. And I'm proud of all the moms and dads out there who are still to this day faithfully going to the hospital. It's scary, it's hard, but keep going, keep choosing life, keep being kind to yourself, keep fighting for that little one, and know that better days are ahead and baby's gonna come home and it's gonna be okay.